but I reckon that he's pretty well on song, a hell of a lot quicker than anybody else anticipated.
He's that well on song that he had a sub 50 already today. He's had a 49.108, but he did have a navigational error in qualifying round number 2, Robert White. 520 small block, 940 horses pushing them along in a Sprint Tech G-Force hull with a Scott 8.5-inch unit, sponsored well and truly by Hydrolink. Here comes the left-hander, up the back end we go. Boat number 80 in your program, keep an eye on it if you're recording the times during the day. Nice right-hander there. Now, hard on the gas all the way around the back end.
Oh, nice. I'll tell you what, fast down into there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really smooth.
He's eased it off, coming around there just a little bit, lines it up. Oh, very, very nice through there. One of the best lines we've seen the unlimited category take through there with Robert White. And that, a couple of lines at the cherry there, but he's got away with that A-OK. Now moving to the left side of the course, a bit late coming out of there. He was
dug it in deep.
He was a bit late coming out of there in the previous round. He's gone wrong way. Oh, he stuck it up on the dirt, back onto the water, and he's just going to take it back home again. And that's probably not a bad idea. So that'll be a DNF there. We'd like to say a big g'day to Paul Gaston and Rachel. Rachel, of course, carrying a whole big belly full of earlier this year's fun. We'd like to say g'day to Kyle Patrick over there in the US of A, and Fonzie and all the Australians over there just watching it on the live stream and just checking out the competition. These guys, of course, coming over here to compete in the World Series in January right here at this track. And then the second round of the World Series will also be at Bay Park, Mount Maunganui. Get your tickets at Event Finder. And I'll tell you what, tickets are selling fast, so make sure you get on board to see the best in the world.
All right, now we go to the Superboats again. We're looking at Scott Donald and Nicole Reesby. It's nice to have them up here from Featherston. They got the 410 sprint car engine, 850 horsepower, once again a Sprint Tech. Oh, and just one of our slower Superboats out here today, or our unlimited boats. Their time so far, 56.226. 56.226, but now's the time to put the hammer down a little bit and try and get down in amongst those low 50s or even sub 50. This is a lot quicker drive for them as they come through. They've had their warm-ups for the day and they're starting to look a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, really just sort of getting their head around it, and it's good to see that they're just taking a bit of a breath and they've found their feet. They're working it out, and you can't expect too much more at the moment. Now, if they can get a second or two quicker than they were last time out, they're not going to be bothering the top end of the fleet this particular round, unless they give it a hurry up in the finals. However, they will be very happy with the way the day has gone for them. The boat looks pretty well set up.
It's going really well for them, actually. Once they get the steering of it a little bit better, they'll be looking for good times. And let's take a look at their time, ladies and gentlemen. Just having a few small details to adjust here. 54.413, so they've come down 2 seconds, Cavey.
Yep.
54.413, and that's pretty respectable for them. Well done.
Absolutely, they will be very happy with that. Now, we got Nick Berryman coming out in the Riverjet. Now, Nick Berryman he's from Rotorua, and the interesting thing is he used to catch wild goats in jet boats on the Wanganui River many, many years ago. So, a little bit different to racing a jet sprint boat, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and he made a lot of money out of that down there in the Kaidiiki Valley and Red Rookie Valleys. So, yeah, good to have them on board here in Rotorua, looking at running their business. But what we'll talk about is what's happening on the track right now. Big wiggle and woggle there through there, and it's setting them up for a lot of trouble to straighten it back up. But Nick's only got one speed right now. He pulls that front of that boat out of the water and says, let's go home. Nice turn around the right. Boy, this guy's driving like a demon right here, right now. Keep an eye on what he's doing. He had a 48.894 earlier on. Just getting a little rough there at the top end of the course, but I'd say he's set himself a pace of going a bit quicker. Can he keep it together at the end of the stage? We'll take you home with the time.
Yeah, way you go there, Wiggy. Let's get it.
All right, Nick Berryman comes in with a 49.013, so just outside that 48 that he had earlier on. Things got a little rough.
Yep, absolutely. Started off really well.
It did.
And what happens, quite often you see this in this stage of the day. The guy's starting to push hard, get a few little mistakes in there, and then start to ease off. And that's really quite smart driving, because there's no point pushing it if you're chasing the time. As soon as you start chasing the time, it just gets harder. The more and more mistakes, it just keeps carrying on. But we're looking forward to seeing Gaz Stephen here in the 1-2, which is, of course, Swahili for the boss. And we are looking forward to this man just really unleashing the beast. He's got some 1,000+ horsepower, and that is going to be frightening when he unleashes it. And he's gaining confidence throughout the day and getting faster and faster into that crosswash. At the moment now around Biolytics, around the right-hander, setting it up through this part of the course, nice through there, backed it off, puts a little bit of welly into it, not the full stick, he's still got plenty in there, ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry about that. I reckon he'd be working on somewhere around about sort of 40 to 45% throttle, so plenty left in the 1-2.
They had a time of 53.364 in the last qualifying round. It's just probably going to be sitting around that again. Seems to be just feeling the ground a little bit out there as we come around on the way home. Let's look for a 52 and better. All right, no, we're out. Yeah, look at that. He got a 50. He got a 56.36. He just turned me into a liar. Yeah. 50.636. I wouldn't have picked that, KV.
No, look, he was looking a lot smoother, a lot more confident with the package. So that is a very nice run there from Gaz Stephen. He'll be really happy with that. We did see this particular boat up on the bank around the Biolytics big sweeper there. This is Richard Murray, Meaner Machine, the 440 blown Ford engine. 1,500 horsepower. He had the smile on the dial. I wonder if the off-track excursion might have knocked a bit of the smile off the dial there.
He definitely, one thing about Darcy, he's quite a deep-thinking sort of a guy, and he's, of course, those that are watching from all around the world, this is the boat that Pat Dillon drove last year to be the champion boat in the country. Richard Murray's picked up the drive this year and bought the boat and got himself a new navigator, and just feeling it way around once again. First time racing in these conditions, but look, he's starting to build it up. Now let's see how he handles this right-hander right here in front. Backed it right off and then unleashes about 1,200 of those 1,500 horses that he's got to use.
Oh, look, he's still got plenty in it. Don't worry about that. That little off-track excursion would have knocked it a little bit. Now he's just lining this one up. A little bit hard finding the entrance of that. He straight-lined it.
Yeah.
And Julia Murray in here, there's a little bit of nervousness going on there. Richard Murray across the line in a 52.598. Interesting there, Wiggy, you said that Richard Murray, a bit of a deep-thinking man. Personally, I thought he was more apt at maybe peeling Smarties or something like that. So obviously we've got a different view on the man.
I went to school with him, yeah, and we both went to Fielding Ag together, and we've got a long friendship, Darcy and I.
And so therefore you can't go calling him a Smartie peeler.
No, not at all. And his wife's going to feed us down at Wanganui, so we better be good to her.
Yeah, we better be right. All right, we retract.
Okay, we're going to go the Blue Flame now by the looks of it.
Yeah, absolutely, the Blue Flame.
Dave Simmons and
John Berry.
Yep.
Now, Dave Simmons has posted some reasonable times here today. Did get a few track directions wrong earlier in the morning, really coming on song during Q3. Now, during qualifying 4, looking a lot more calm, a lot more confident, a lot smoother as he's going through the flip-flops here. Just ease it off. We'll open up the 850 horsepower up the back straight there. Now through the centre of the course. Into the all-important sharp right-hander. Got in and out of there beautifully.
Okay, their time earlier on was a 48.937. As KV said, this is a great run. It's starting to look like it's going to be down in that 47, 48s again. Just keep the gas on all the way around. Driving this really, really well. Only the 800 horsepower compared to the 1,500 that we were just talking about. Got a little bit rough at the finish, but let's see where he comes up. There you go. We'll get it in just a second.
Saw a nice big, from the commentary tower, saw a nice bit underside there of that Stinger hull. And Dave Simmons just got it a little bit untidy at the end. And
49.013, 49.013.
Actually, sorry, there'll be a correction there, mate.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, no, we've
49.893.
Yep, just changed it around on me a little bit there. 49.893. So a second slower than what he has been.
Yep, as Rob Coley comes in there, and we got the time wrong because we had a dunny budgie on our computer screen, caused all sorts of little issues. Rob Coley now. The dunny budgie, the blowflies.
Yeah. Rightio, Mouthfresh, they're big sponsors of New Zealand Jet Sprinting, and Rob Coley, you might have saw us do an interview with him earlier on, and as KB said, he's been on to Australia cleaning up a few tracks over there, KB.
Yeah, did really well. Found himself in second place in Australia in the unlimited category behind Fonzie Mullen, the 3-beat champion, who's actually today building the engine ducting in, doing a bit of work, coming out, seeing his competitors in the Superboats. And Rob Coley's something that everybody's going to be worried about. He's really come on song, bogged it around the hairpin a little bit, but he's not going to be too worried about that at all. This boat has got plenty of snot, more snot than a 2-year-old with a cold, I can tell you. Eased off it just a little bit through the hairpin there, got himself a little bit rattled. And very unlike Rob Coley, his very elbows and knees just calmed it down, but still managed a 47.613.
47.613, that new navigator working well from there, Kelly Manel as well. It's a great time, great team, and they've come down 0.2 from their previous runs. Our next team in should be the Taranaki Hardcore team.
Yeah, absolutely. Leighton Manel
and Louise Blythe.
And Louise Blythe, big g'day to all of her mates over there in Australia. She said to say g'day, so yep, we've done that. Righto, Louise, there's a couple of beers for Wiggy and I at the end of the day.
This is a twin-turbo Chevy V8, 1,500 horsepower, Stinger hull once again, CPSL 9-inch unit. And look at this thing, it eats water, throws it out the back. The key effect of the jet unit sucking the water up keeps it in the track, but there's a hell of a lot of boost coming out the back, and he's only going faster. I think the interview I did with him at half-time, and I said to him, you look like you're a bit rough. He smoothed it out. Now, boy, oh boy, Taranaki Hardcore, Leighton Manel and Louise Blythe.
He was talking to me earlier about the tightness of the steering. He's got to really tighten up, so he's oversteering it a little bit. But as you said, Wiggy, really sorting it out in this run. He doesn't have that erratic kind of style, or a little bit erratic right there. They seem to have got off it just that little bit through the flip-flops and then back onto it. Now lining up the centre chute, foot flat, bang, bang.
46.681. 46.681. He has taken 0.6 of a second off the previous time of 47.214, 46.681, and the man is a contender for a top spot.
Absolutely, and 1 second quicker than Rob Coley as well. So that's really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons as Glenn Head for all therm window systems coming up to the start. Glenn Head is acquitting himself very, very nicely indeed today. Not the full blast out of the start chute, just set himself up nicely for that first tight left-hander. Now getting on with business. You'll hear it open up just a little bit down the back straight. Now here we go. Into the right-hander. He's had a little bit of a not quite as smooth through the biolytics as we would normally see from Glenn Head. However, he's getting on with business now. Nice transition out of the bottom loop. Into the right-hander. How's he going to go here? And beautifully done again.
He had a 46.806 in the last round, and just got to keep it in the water. Glenn does have the ability to throw it around and get it up on the bank occasionally. We won't put that on him. He's backed off a little bit there. He's going to find himself all the way home very shortly. Let's go to the stopwatch, see how we go through as he finishes off in the Suzuki Superboats. And Glenn Head there has a 47.424, 47.424, so a good 8.8 of a second behind Leighton Manel.
And just one place there in front of Rob Coley, as well as multiple world champion Peter Coey comes to the starter. 9 times NZ champion, 6 times world champion. And the way this man drives, smooth, fast, and this will be the reason, as you can see right before you, why this guy has just been unsurpassed in jet sprint racing in the world.
He had a 44.517 in the last round. He has a brand new navigator, the little light girl that helped me do some MC work down in Canterbury the other day, Shama Puturanui. She tells me she weighs only about 57 kilos, and Peter Coey wants a nice light ride beside him so that the boat sits well in the water. Look how smooth, quick and clean it is. The black boat, the Black Demon, just a beautiful drive going on here. As I said, KB, 44.517. You take us home and see if we can get it out.
I reckon we're going to see that sort of time for this particular run, but it won't be too far off it. Where have we got? Oh, they've made a liar out of it. 44.284.
I looked up.
Whoa,
I thought it would be there.
Wow, that is just amazing. So smooth is fast. Yep. Peter Coey just showing you why he is 9-time New Zealand champion and 6-time world champion. See, that is some 2.4 seconds quicker than former world champion Leighton Manel. So very interesting stuff going on in the unlimited boats.
So you got caught out there a little bit, Cavey. You know, like it looked like it was too smooth and it looked a fraction slower, but than maybe Leighton Manel, which was all go, go, go. But hustle. But when you see that smoothness like that, smoothness equals speed, and we end up pretty well on track with that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to go to the top 12 in the Biolytics Group B. Daniel Reid will be first out. Greg Reardon will be second. Then we'll have Clayton Tisdall, Murray Chittick, Pip Thompson, Patrick Hayden, Donna Thompson, Tim Edhouse, Hayden Wilson, Ross Travers, and Jason Reed. So we will get the top 12 underway. This is sudden death. If you get it wrong, that is the end of it, and you're on the trailer.